Hey guys, welcome back. Happy Monday to you. We're going to be working on the exit ticket from Friday. So I know you should have submitted it on that Google form. So we're going to be working on that. If you look at the question, it says a cafeteria makes 2,516 pounds of white rice and 608 pounds of brown rice every month. After 6 months, how many pounds of rice does the cafeteria make? Okay, so we're dealing with a two-step process here. We're given two numbers. You've got white rice, you've got brown rice. That's for 1 month. So we need to work that out over here. 1 month, we have white rice, brown rice, 2,516 pounds, 608 pounds. So we need to figure out how many pounds of rice that is. All right, so I'm going to add these up. 2,516 pounds, 608 pounds. 8 and 6 is 14. 1 and 1 make 2. 6 and 5 is 11. 2 and 1 make 3. So every month they make 3,124 pounds. 4 labs. Okay, but the question didn't ask what 1 month was. It asked what 6 months was. So 6 months. So I need to multiply 3,124 times 6. 6 times 3. If you don't know 6 times 3, you do know 6 times 2 equals 12. You add 6 more, would be 18.
Duh. Winning.
Add your 3 zeros because it's 3,000 times 6. 6 times 100 would be 600. 6 times 20. 6 times 2 is 12. Add 1 0. And 6 times 4. If 6 times 3 was 18, you add 6 more, or you could do 4 times 5 equals 20 plus 4 more equals 24. All right, so to figure out my answer, I have to add these up. 18,600, 120, 24, 4, 4, 7, 8, 1. 18,744 is what I got. So hopefully that's what you got. Yep. All right, so there was another question on there that's not on my board. And if I was going to write a statement, it would say, after 6 months, how many pounds of rice does the cafeteria make? 18,744 rice is made in 6 months. Now, I know what you're saying. My phone keeps cutting off. Oh, man. What does that say down there? So 18,744 pounds of rice is made in 6 months. Okay, so let's look at the other question. Make sure you check that. The other question asked you to multiply 6,253 times 3. All right, so set it up. I'm gonna do it two ways because I know there's some people that like standard algorithm. There's some people that like area model. Six times 3 is 18. 3 zeros because it's 6,000. 3 times 2 is 600. 3 times 5 is 15. 1 0. And 3 times 3 is 9. Add it up, 18,000. 600. 150. 9. That one was pretty easy, to be honest. 18,759. Very similar to the one we just did. Oh, yeah. Sure, you got it right. All right, guys. That's it for this one right now. There'll be more to this lesson. All right, so let's look at this application problem. So right now we're dealing with Tyler. The question says Tyler planted potatoes, oats, and corn. He planted 23 acres of potatoes. He planted 3 times as many acres of oats as potatoes. And he planted 4 times as many acres of corn than oats. How many acres did Tyler plant with potatoes, oats, and corn and all? Okay, so there's a lot of information you're being hit with right now. So we need to model this problem. So let's start with what we know. We know potatoes. So over here, I'm going to put P. And my board will stop working. P for potatoes. Okay. Potatoes equals 23. We also have 3 times as many acres than potatoes. So that was my oats. So oats is 3 times as many as potatoes, or 23, sorry. And then it says for corn is 4 times. So this oats, whatever oats equals, that's what I'm going to put here, oats times 4. That will give me my corn. Puck. All right, so I want you to pause the video and work this problem out. Okay, so I think we're ready. I mean, it's digital world, so you could be ready now or be ready later if you pause the video. So we have 23 times 3. 23 times 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. This would give me 69. Okay. Then we got to figure out corn. So I got to plug in my answer here, 69 times 4. 69 times 4. 4, 60, and 9. Okay. 4 times 6. I know that 4 times 5 is 20, so 4 times 6 must be 24. Add my 0. 4 times 9. 4 times 9, you can use your finger trick if you need to. That would be 36. When you add those up, 240 plus 36 equals 276. All right, you're not done. We have to add up the totals to find all the acreage of stuff. Okay, so we've got 23, 69, and 276. Man, like some corn. Karen, get that Karen out of my face. So we got 9 9 and 3 make 12. 12 and 6 make 18. 7, carry that 1. So I know that would be 2 if I took, I do all this crazy stuff in my head. 8 and 1, or sorry, 7 and 1 make 8. 8 plus 2 is 10. 10 plus 6 is 16. Woo! And 3. 368 is what you should have got. Total acres. If you didn't get that, figure out what you did wrong. You probably just stopped here, or maybe you added this and 69 together, but forgot to add the 23. But remember, it wanted the total acreage. So 368 acres in all. Boom. You're so smart. So nice outfit change. That was really quick, right? So interpreting the remainder is our lesson for today. So we have an amount, we're breaking it up, repeated subtraction, and now we're looking at what do I do now that I'm at the end of my problem. I've fair shared, and now I have something left over. So there are a couple of things you have to figure out what the problem's asking you to do. So interpreting the remainder, I have a remainder. Now what do I do with it? So the first thing you can do is ignore it. When your answer needs to be a whole number and you can't round up to the nearest whole number. So Amy has 17 jelly beans. How many packs of 5 can she make for her friends? If you divide 17 by 5, you see that you can make 3 fair groups, but then there's going to be 2 left over. This 2 left over is the remainder. So we can't just make a pack of 5 with 2 jelly beans. So you have to just ignore them. So I don't know what Amy must have done. She must have like ate them or something, but in this case, we just ignore them because the question asked us how many packs of 5. Well, packs of 5, she can make 3. There's going to be 2 left over, but complete packs of 5, there's 3. So that's ignoring the remainder. To figure out what to do with the remainder, you have to really pay attention to the question. All right, the next part is rounding up. So we've learned about rounding. It's when you don't go to, it's not an exact number. When your answer needs to be a whole number and you can't ignore the remainder. So there's 126 fifth graders. They are taking a field trip to the zoo. Each bus holds a maximum of 50 students. How many buses will need to go to the zoo? So if I divide 126 divided by 50, I find out 2. So some kids would say, oh, you only need 2 buses, but the remainder is 26. There's still 26 kids that are not on the bus. So, I mean, you can't just ignore those 26 kids. You gotta do something about it. You gotta involve them. So we can't ignore the remainder because we can't leave 26 students. And we also can't cram 26 students onto 2 buses and it be safe. So you got to keep that in mind too. Forgot I haven't really done any cool like sounds yet. So you can't leave those kids at the school.
Denied.
So you're going to have to round up and get 1 more bus. So it'll be 3 buses. You'll have 1 bus that's not completely full, but you can't leave those behind. All right, so the last one is use it. Sometimes the remainder is the answer. So a bakery has 218 cupcakes, and to package that contains 12, the leftovers will be donated. How many cupcakes are donated? So they have 218. They're packaging up in groups of 12. The rest are going to be donated. When you divide 12 into 218, you find 18 total groups with a remainder of 2. So in this case, the remainder is 2, which means 2 donuts, or sorry, 2 cupcakes. I don't know why I keep saying donuts when it's talking about cupcakes, will be donated. So, all right, we're going to be moving on here to the actual problem set. All right. Read, draw, and write. Process to solve the following problems. There are 19 identical socks. How many pairs of socks are there? Will there be any socks without a match? Right there. That's dealing with a remainder. How many pairs will there be? So last time I checked, we have 2 feet. So we have to divide these up into 2 socks per group. So we have 19 identical socks. Get red. 1, 2. There's 1 group of 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So there's 19 groups of socks right there.
What you say?
So there's 1 left out. So the question is, the quotient, the answer is that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 groups of socks. So you would say the quotient, the answer, the quotient is 9. The remainder is 1. So if we were going to write a statement, there are 9 pairs of socks. And 1 left with no match. I guess the dryer ate it. That's question number 1 on problem set. That's problem set 14. All right, I'm going to let you work on 2 and 3. So go ahead and work on those questions. Remember, you're putting those answers in the form on Google Classroom. All right, guys, you got this.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, I'm sure. All right, guys, so I'm jumping ahead to 4. So we're looking at question number 4. The baker has 42 kilograms of flour. She uses 8 kilograms each day. How many days will she need to buy more flour? So in this type of problem, it doesn't make sense to break up 42 into groups of 8. I mean, it's going to take a long time. So this is where you can play with your facts a little bit to help you out. So we're going to make a factor list. Or sorry, I should say a multiples list. I said factors, and that's going to confuse you, but multiples. So multiples are the multiplication facts. So if we start with 8 times 1, 8 times 1 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 3 is 24. 8 times 4 is 32. 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 6 is 48. 8 times 7 is 56. I'm going to stop right there just because I'm running out of space. But you get the sense. You can keep going as long as you need to. So the question says the baker has 42 kilograms of flour. That's what they have, 42 kilograms. Okay. She uses 8 kilograms a day. So like she has this bag of flour, she dumps it out. Each day she uses 8. Okay, remember, division is just repeated subtraction. All right, so when we're thinking about 42 divided by 8, we got to think of all the multiples that can go into 42 dealing with 8 because we're just repeatedly subtracting 8. So if we look at our list, 8, we could use 8, but then we would keep going. 16, 24. We're trying to get as close to 42 as we can. And looking at my list, the closest I can get without going over, the key is don't go over, because if you go over, then you've already subtracted more than you had. The key is looking for a fact. So we've got 32, 40, and 48. So the closest I can get without going over would be 40. Thank you. So 40 minus, or from 42, there's a remainder of 2. Okay, what times 8 gave me 40? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 42 divided by 8 is 5 with a remainder of 2. So now I have to write my answer in a statement. The quotient is 5 with a remainder of 2. I am really struggling this morning to write. So now I got to put it in regards to the problem. The baker will need to buy flour after 5 days. All right, so in the next 2 problems, 5 and 6, try this method where you list out the multiples and try to get as close to the dividend that you can without going over. That's going to be your quotient, and then get your remainder. If you still need to make groups, you can do that, but you should always be looking for easier and more efficient ways to get to an answer. All right, moving on to the exit ticket. This question is perfect because it goes along with one of the questions I asked earlier about figuring out what to do with the remainder. So the question is, use the RDW process, read, draw, write process to solve the following problem. 53 students are going on a field trip. The students are divided into groups of 6 students. How many groups of students will be there if the remaining students form a smaller group and one chaperone is assigned to each group? How many total chaperones are needed? So this goes with what we said. You can't leave students behind if you have some left over. You're just going to have one group with a chaperone. You don't know what a chaperone is. It's when you have an adult go with you. So like the teacher can't be with every group. So you have a chaperone, you have an adult with the groups to lead them around the field trip, right? So we've got 6 per group for one chaperone, and we have 53 students going all together. How many chaperones are needed? So this is 53 divided by 6. Okay, so there's 2 strategies that you could use. You could make groups of 6. That will take a very long time. Or you can try to think of your multiples of 6, list them out, and try to get as close to 53 without going over. So this one is for you to do on your own, see what you've learned, and you'll be putting that into that form. All right, guys. We'll go over this in tomorrow's lesson, which I might be wearing the same shirt because I might be recording them all at one time. Anyways, peace out.